The house still smelled like her. Soft lavender. Warm cotton. A hint of the tea she always brewed before bed. He walked through the doorway like a ghost returning to its old body. Every step hurt. Every breath felt stolen. Her shoes were still by the door. Her scarf was still on the hook. Her handwriting still clung to the calendar. But she was gone. And she had left nothing behind. Or so he thought. He touched the wall with trembling fingers. Cold. Still. Too still. The silence in the house didn't feel natural. It felt engineered. Like something had swallowed the sound. And swallowed her with it. She died quietly. Painfully. Alone. Or that's what he had been told. He replayed the hospital call again and again. Cardiac failure. Sudden. No signs. Nothing suspicious. But grief has an instinct. His wouldn't rest. Not yet. Not until something cracked. He walked into the bedroom. The curtains fluttered. But the windows were closed. His chest tightened. Her side of the bed was too neat. Too undisturbed. Like she hadn't slept there for days. But she had. He had kissed her goodnight. He had watched her breathe. He had seen her smile before sleep took her. Then morning came. And she didn't wake up. He sat slowly on the edge of the mattress. The weight of his body shifted the sheets. Something rustled beneath them. His heart stopped. He lifted the blanket. Nothing. Just the echo of whatever he thought he heard. He exhaled. Deep. Shaking. Then froze. Her nightstand drawer. Slightly open. Not how she left things. She was neat. Precise. Her drawers always clicked shut. He reached for it. Hesitated. Pulled it. Stopped halfway. A soft thump inside. He paused. Listening. The house breathed around him. Floorboards settling. Pipes groaning. Wind slipping under the eaves. But this sound had come from inside the drawer. He opened it fully. And saw. Not much. Lip balm. A roll of tissues. An old bookmark. A stray earring. Nothing unusual. Nothing damning. But something felt off. Like a whisper beneath the surface. He closed the drawer. Then opened it again. Faster this time. A faint click beneath the base. He froze. His pulse pounded. He pressed the wooden bottom. It flexed. Not normal. He pushed harder. The false panel lifted with a soft pop. His throat tightened. There. Hidden. Perfectly flat. Perfectly concealed. Lay a journal. Black leather. Edges worn. Elastic band stretched thin. He lifted it with both hands. It felt heavy. Not in weight. But in meaning. Her meaning. The woman who died in silence was finally whispering. He sat on the bed. Opened the cover. Her handwriting spilled across the first page. Tight. Small. Pressed hard into the paper like she was writing through pain. He read the first line. And everything inside him shattered. If you're reading this, it means he finally succeeded. The room spun. He blinked. Hard. Breath shaking. He turned the page. This wasn't a heart attack. Not the first time. Not tonight. And not tomorrow if he decides to try again. His stomach turned cold. Sour. Hollow. The next line felt like a knife. My death will not be natural. It will be convenient. He closed the journal for a second. Pressed it against his forehead. He wanted to scream. Break something. Wake her. Undo fate. But silence pressed in again. Not normal silence. Weighted silence. He opened the journal again. Hands trembling. He needed answers. He needed truth. He flipped to the next entry. Her words were sharper here. Edges carved by fear. He's watching me. Always. The cameras. The messages. The little mistakes that aren't mistakes. His breath caught. He scanned faster. I don't know how much time I have left. I'm writing everything down. Every bruise. Every threat. Every warning. If something happens to me, find this. He swallowed hard. But the lump wouldn't move. She had written all of this. In this room. In this silence. While he slept. While he worked. While he trusted the world to be safe for her. He kept reading. I tried to leave once. He stopped me. He always stops me. You don't know him like I do. No one does. A cold shiver traced his spine. He turned the page. There. In angry ink strokes. One name appeared. Just one. Bold. Underlined. Written with a shaking hand. And it wasn't his. It was someone else. Someone close. Someone trusted. Someone who had cried at the funeral. Had touched her coffin. Had hugged him tight. He stared at the name. The letters burned into him. His hands shook harder now. He turned the page again. More entries. More warnings. More fear. Dates. Times. Little drawings of things she noticed. A list of symptoms she had suddenly developed. Notes about missing medication. Altered bottles. Strange tastes in her drinks. Sudden dizziness. Numbness. Tremors she couldn't explain. His heart slammed against his ribs. This wasn't paranoia. This was evidence. This was testimony. This was a woman fighting for her life with a pen. He reached the last page she had written. Ink smudged by tears. Words shaky but determined. I know I'm running out of time. If I don't make it, let this journal speak. Let it scream. Let it tell you who killed me. His fingers tightened around the leather. His jaw clenched. His vision burned. She had died in silence. But not anymore. Her journal had just opened its mouth. And the truth had teeth. The name glared up at him. Sharp. Dark. Unforgiving. Not scribbled in fear. Not hinted. Not implied. Written with certainty. The man she feared. The man she watched. The man who watched her back. And his blood turned to ice. Because the name belonged to someone he knew. Someone he trusted. Someone who had been in this house. At this bed. At her funeral. Someone who hugged him like family. His vision blurred at the edges. He inhaled slowly. Deep. Shaking. The way you breathe before saying goodbye, or before starting a war. The room felt smaller now. Walls closing in. Shadows thickening. Air heavier. He stared at the journal again. Then at the name. He whispered it inside his mind. But couldn't let it pass through his lips. Not yet. Not until he understood everything. He flipped back to the earlier entries. Looking for patterns. Signs. Clues. Her fear was everywhere. Every line. Every word. Every pressed indentation on the page. She wasn't writing a diary. She was writing a case file. He flipped to another entry. He knows when I'm alone. He knows when you're not home. A chill crawled up his spine. He scanned faster. He watches the lights. The doors. The windows. He always knows. He swallowed hard. His house suddenly felt like it had eyes. He stood up slowly. Back straight. Breath tight. His gaze scanned the corners. The ceiling. The vents. Then he saw something he had never noticed before. A tiny black dot. Barely visible. Above the curtain rod. Hidden in shadow. His heartbeat stopped. A lens. A micro camera. Watching. Recording. Listening. He stepped back. Blood roaring in his ears. Had it been there when she died? Had she seen it? Had she written about it? He grabbed the journal and flipped through feverishly. There. A small line, almost thrown away. He sees me even when I'm not looking at him. His stomach twisted. He looked back at the camera. A tiny red speck blinked. His pulse surged. Someone was watching him. Right now. Right here. He reached up. Pulled the device free. Hard. The adhesive snapped. The wire tore. A faint static clicked inside the casing. He crushed it in his hand. Metal biting into his palm. The silence that followed felt different. Heavier. More dangerous. Because now the watcher knew the watched had woken up. He pocketed the broken device. Then opened the bedroom door. The hallway yawned ahead. Long, dim. Still. He walked slowly. Journal in one hand. Camera in the other. Another camera hid near the ceiling light. Another above the bookshelf. A third tucked inside the vent grill. His breath caught. The house wasn't a home. It was a cage. And she had lived in it. Dying one day at a time. Documenting it with the only weapon she had, her words. He walked into the living room. Another camera above the TV. 2 more behind picture frames. 7 cameras total. 7 sets of eyes. He crushed each one. One by one. Metal cracking under his grip like bones. Every snap felt like a small form of justice. Not enough. Not close. But something. When the last camera died in his hands, the house felt empty for the first time. No eyes. No ears. No silent witness but him. He sank onto the couch. Breathing hard. He opened the journal again. Near the back, tucked between 2 pages, something fell out. A small envelope. Yellowed. Flattened. Sealed with tape. His heart pounded. He picked it up carefully. Her handwriting scrawled across the front. For when you're ready. His throat tightened. He peeled the tape. Opened the flap. Inside, a single USB drive. Black. Unmarked. Cold against his fingers. He froze. Then turned it over. One word etched with a needle. Proof. His lungs emptied. He whispered into the silent room. Oh God. He closed his fist around the USB. Hard. He didn't plug it in. Not yet. First, he needed to know how deep her fear truly went. He returned to the journal. Pages flipping like a storm. Then he found it. A long entry. A full page. Her handwriting frantic, rushed, breaking between lines. I saw him. He didn't know I was awake. He stood over me. His chest tightened. He touched the glass. He replaced the pills. He shook. Hands trembling over the ink. He whispered something. I couldn't understand. But I know what he meant. His fingers dug into the paper. She kept writing. He thinks he's invisible. He thinks no one will ever believe me. A pause. A smear of ink. A drop of water, tear or sweat, had warped the page. Then, if he kills me, don't go to the police first. They won't listen. They don't listen to women like me. He swallowed hard. His eyes blurred again. Her next words were carved into the page. Go to the one person he fears. He frowned. Confused. Who? Why? Who could someone like him fear? He turned the page. There, at the top. A name. Another name. Not the killer. But the person she trusted to expose him. A name he never expected. A name with weight. Power. History. His breath hitched. Then, a sound. Soft. Close. Inside the house. A slow, deliberate footstep. He froze. Every nerve screaming. Another step. Closer. Not the house settling. Not the pipes. Not the wind. A human step. The journal slid from his lap. Hit the floor with a soft thud. He didn't move. Didn't breathe. Then, a voice. Low. Calm. Familiar. Too familiar. Looking for something? His blood went cold. The name she wrote. The man she feared. Was standing inside the house. And he wasn't alone. He didn't turn around. He couldn't. The voice behind him froze his body the way a blade freezes breath. Calm. Measured. Too steady. A voice that should never have been inside this house. A voice she feared. A voice she wrote about. A voice the journal had warned him of. He stayed still. Back straight. Jaw clenched. The air felt thick enough to swallow. The footsteps resumed. Slow. Intentional. Soft rubber soles against wooden floor. No rush. No panic. Predators never hurry. He finally turned. Slowly. Carefully. There he stood. The man with the name written in her journal. The one circled. Underlined. Repeated. The man who had hugged him at her funeral. Eyes soft. Voice trembling. Hands shaking with artificial grief. Now he wasn't pretending. His face held nothing. No sympathy. No sorrow. No guilt. Just control. Cold, polished control. The kind of expression worn by men who believe they can rewrite any version of the truth that threatens them. The kind of expression she feared. He swallowed. Barely. The intruder's gaze flicked down to the broken cameras scattered across the floor. Then to the journal on the carpet. Then to the USB still clenched in his fist. A slow smile formed. Not wide. Not warm. A knowing smile. Like a chess player watching someone discover the board only after losing the match. You weren't supposed to find that, he murmured. Short sentence. Soft tone. Too soft. Dangerous men speak gently. It's part of the disguise. He took a step closer. He didn't move back. The silence stretched thin. Tight. Ready to snap? How long have you been here? He asked quietly. The intruder shrugged. Casual. Like this was all a minor inconvenience. Long enough. His stomach twisted. Why? The man tilted his head slightly. You should sit. You're pale. He didn't move. The intruder sighed. You really want to talk standing up? Fine. He took another step. Then another. Not rushing. Not intimidating. Worse. Comfortable. Like he owned the house. Like he owned the situation. Like he owned the ending. Do you really think, the intruder whispered, nodding toward the journal, that whatever she wrote in there was accurate? A thin laugh. Emotional women write emotional things. His jaw tightened. Hard. The man's smile widened slightly. Careful. You're clenching your teeth. That's the first sign you're losing control. He stayed silent. The intruder stepped past the coffee table. Only a few feet away now. This house, he murmured, scanning the dismantled cameras, used to be so predictable. She never made things difficult until the end. His pulse pounded. The man's gaze drifted back to him. Studying. Measuring. Then, a soft sigh. She should have minded her own business. His fists curled. You killed her. The man's head lifted a fraction. Not denial. Not guilt. Annoyance. I did what needed to be done. She started asking too many questions. She became inconvenient. The words punched the air out of him. His throat burned. His vision shook. The man smirked. You really thought she died of a heart issue? Your wife? The healthiest person I've ever met? Ice spread through his chest. The intruder stepped another inch closer. She was digging into things that were never meant for her. She kept interfering. She didn't know when to stop. He leaned forward. And you? You were never supposed to know. His breath stuttered. The man's eyes flicked to the USB drive in his fist. Give me that. He didn't move. A dangerous stillness filled the room. The intruder's jaw twitched. Don't be stupid. That drive contains things you don't understand. You think it's about her? No. She wasn't the target. She was collateral. You're stepping into something far bigger than your little domestic tragedy. The words hit like shards of ice. Far bigger. Collateral. She died trying to protect him from something worse. He whispered. What's on it? The man's smile faded. It doesn't matter. He reached into his coat. Slowly. Smoothly. Not hiding the movement. Not threatening. Just certain. His hand emerged, holding a small device. A jammer. Cold metal. Black. Silent. He clicked it on. A faint pulse shivered through the room. The lights flickered. The air hummed. Every escape route, phone, Wi-Fi, security, died instantly. No calls. No recordings. No signals. No help. The intruder exhaled, relieved. There. Now we can talk properly. His hand tightened around the USB. The man's eyes darkened. You're holding something that could tear everything down. Give it to me. No. The man laughed softly. The kind of laugh that didn't touch his eyes. You don't understand who I am. He stepped closer, breath steady. You don't understand what she found. Another step. She thought she could expose me. She thought she had time. Another step. But she wasn't fast enough. His vision burned. His breath hammered. The intruder stopped right in front of him. Close enough to touch. Close enough to kill. I'm giving you one chance, he whispered, voice low. To walk away. Forget the journal. Forget the cameras. Forget the drive. His heart pounded. Drop it, the man murmured. A beat. A second. A breath. No. The intruder's expression hardened. The warmth drained away. The mask cracked. And the real man surfaced. Sharp. Cold. Predatory. Then you die like she did. Before he could react, the intruder lunged. A hand shooting toward his wrist, toward the USB, toward the only proof she left behind. He twisted away. Stumbled. The journal slid across the floor. The man moved fast. Too fast. Trained fast. He grabbed the narrator's arm, pulled, shoved. They crashed into the wall. Pain exploded up his shoulder. The USB slipped, almost fell. He caught it by a fingertip. The intruder snarled. That's mine. His grip tightened. The narrator's vision blurred. He shoved back with everything he had. The intruder staggered half a step. Not enough. He came again. Harder. A hand closed around his throat. Squeezing. The world dimmed. The USB clattered onto the floor. The intruder's eyes flicked toward it. That moment, that single distraction, was enough. He slammed his knee upward. A sharp crack. A grunt. The intruder loosened. He tore free. Gasped air. Grabbed the nearest object. A lamp. Heavy. Metal. He swung. The intruder ducked. The lamp smashed against the doorframe, shattering the bulb. The man lunged again. This time, he pinned the narrator against the wall. Forearm digging into his chest. The USB lay inches away. So close he could touch it with his foot. The intruder leaned in. Breath cold. Words deadly. You're not leaving this house alive. His fingers clawed at the wall. Searching. Finding nothing. The man's grip tightened. Lights flickered. Vision dimmed. Breath shortened. He reached down, foot sliding, toes brushing. The USB. Almost there. The intruder noticed. He slammed him harder into the wall. The impact rattled his skull. He gasped. Fading. The intruder leaned in. You should have let her die alone. The room tilted. Darkness creeping in. But then. A sound. A shift. A click. The front door. Opening. The intruder's head snapped toward the hallway. A voice outside. Firm. Familiar. Unexpected. The name she wrote, the one she trusted, was standing on the other side of the door. And they were not alone. He didn't sleep that night. Not really. Every time his eyes closed, the image returned. The trembling pages. The shaking ink. The journal opening by itself. He lay still. Listening. Breathing slow. Waiting for something he couldn't name. The house answered. Not with whispers this time. But with weight. Heavy. Pressing. settling over his chest like a warning. Then, a sound. Soft. Dry. Dragging. Not from the hallway. From the bedroom floor. From beneath him. His breath froze. His fingers curled over the blanket. He stayed perfectly still as the sound grew clearer. Scratching. A slow, deliberate scrape. Then another. Then one more. Not frantic. Not random. Measured. Like someone writing. Or carving. He leaned over the bed and looked down. Dark. Still. Empty. But the sound kept going. His heartbeat stumbled against his ribs. He slid onto the floor. Cold wood. Cold air. Cold everything. He lifted the edge of the bed frame. Nothing but dust. And then his eyes caught it. The underside of the wooden slats. Carved lines. Dozens of them. Marks scratched with something sharp. Torn wood edges. Jagged. Rushed. Desperate. Not once. Not twice. A pattern. A message. A silent scream trapped in the wood. He crawled deeper underneath. The marks formed words. Words she left behind. Just 5. He knows. He watches. Help me. His throat tightened. His face went numb. There were more scratches. Lower. Fainter. Nearly erased by time. He brushed the dust off with shaking fingers. Another message. Shorter. Sharper. A final warning. Not an accident. His pulse broke. His breath shattered. Everything he believed about her death, everything he clung to, collapsed like rotten wood. He pulled himself out from under the bed, gasping. Stumbling. Heart in freefall. He sat on the edge of the mattress, hands trembling uncontrollably. Not an accident. Someone knew. Someone watched her. Someone was in this house long before she died. The truth was no longer hiding. It was hunting. Then, a door slammed somewhere in the house. Not by the wind. Not by chance. A heavy, deliberate slam. He froze. Every muscle locked. He wasn't alone. The house wasn't empty. And she wasn't the only one being watched. The slam echoed through the house. Thick. Heavy. Final. He didn't breathe. Didn't blink. Didn't move. His mind ran first. His body stayed frozen. Someone was here. Or something. And whatever it wasn't afraid of being heard. A second sound followed. Soft. A shift of weight on old wood. A footstep. Then another. Slow. Unhurried. Measured. The same rhythm she described in her journal. The same cadence she feared. He stood. His legs felt weak. But something in him pushed forward. A stubborn need. A rising anger. A whisper she left behind. Find the truth. He stepped into the hallway. Cold air wrapped around him. The kind that didn't feel like a draft. The kind that felt aware. Another footstep. Closer. Too close. He turned, and the lights flickered. A hum filled the walls. Low. Electric. Wrong. Then the hallway lights went out. Total black. A darkness so thick it felt physical. He could hear his heartbeat. Hear the breath he didn't know he was holding. Hear. Footsteps behind him. Not walking. Approaching. Slow. Deliberate. Heavy. His survival instinct screamed. Run. But grief held him still. Grief, and her voice. Her journal. Her scratches. Her warnings carved under the bed. She died in silence. He wouldn't. He reached for the wall. Searching for the switch. Fingers shaking. Palms sweating. Another set of footsteps. Faster now. Coming straight toward him. His hand finally found the switch and... Click. The lights flickered to life. And the hallway was empty. Dead still. No shadow. No figure. No movement. But something had changed. On the floor, right where he stood seconds ago, was a piece of paper. Old. Crumpled. Edges torn like it had been ripped from her journal. He picked it up. The writing wasn't hers. Sharp strokes. Forceful. Almost carved into the page. 4 words. 4 words that hollowed his chest. Stop digging. Or join her. His hand went cold. His breath cracked. The house wasn't warning him anymore. It was threatening him. And whoever wrote the note knew he found the scratches. Knew he read the journal. Knew he was getting close. He looked down the empty hallway. Someone had been standing there. Watching him. Breathing his air. Leaving him messages in the dark. And they weren't done. Not yet. Not even close. He didn't sleep the next night. He didn't try. Every sound felt louder. Every shadow felt closer. Every breath felt borrowed. But fear wasn't in control anymore. Not fully. Something else had taken its place. A slow-growing fury. Someone hurt her. Someone watched her. Someone moved through this house like they owned it. And now they wanted him quiet. Dead quiet. He sat at her old desk. A place he avoided for months. A place that still smelled like her lotion and old paper. He opened her laptop. The one he couldn't touch before. The one that hurt too much. It hummed to life. Cold light on his face. Dust rising like ghosts. He searched every folder. Every document. Every forgotten draft. Nothing. Then he noticed it. A hidden folder. No name. No date. No icon.